what are the relative prices? Just, if someone wanted to open up their own shop in the Philippines, in India, what's going to deter them from that? What would you say are the reasons that what level do they need to be at to consider building their own office?
Well, I mean, I think it wouldn't make sense unless you're ready to do 20 plus drafters in an office. Not, and it's not just because of the volume and everything, but it has to do with just the logistics of getting that done. You're going to need an HR team to make sure that you're handling all the labor laws of the local jurisdiction. You got to get the business permits. You got to file your taxes. There's all that stuff that goes into running a business. You're going to need to do in a foreign country. And so if you're going to start hiring HR people and accounting people and general managers and IT people and all that overhead staff, you're going to have to justify that by having drafters to accompany that. So really, I think you would need to be 20, 25 drafters before you'd even want to do it. And then that assumes that everything goes smoothly. I know that we started CAD sourcing back in 2011. And, I don't think it's probably a secret that every business goes through ups and downs. And we definitely had our challenges in the beginning. But through those challenges, you learn processes, you learn different things, you hire better people. And we've gone through that gauntlet to get where we are right now, which is, I think, really at a good point and something that I'm really proud of. But if you're starting from scratch, you got to make sure you hire the right general manager. You got to make sure you hire the right, controller and HR department and everything. And that all is a challenge. It's a challenge locally in the US. Imagine trying to do that overseas while you're 12 hours away. It's not easy.
Also, one of the things I found interesting about overseas labor laws is how different they are from US labor laws, and the requirement in many of these countries to guarantee employment for a certain period of time. And, if someone might need 20 drafters and they've got a great contract and they think they need them for the next 3 years, but then that contract gets pulled, they can't all of a sudden disintegrate their overhead the same way they could in the US.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Everyone thinks about the Philippines as a place where, wow, you're going to have super cheap labor and you get all these images of sweatshops or something like that. But really in the Philippines, it's a very westernized country. So even though the labor costs are very, much lower than they are in the US, the social safety net is actually a little bit higher than in the US. They have employment agreements. There's separation pay. So if you try and get rid of somebody outside of a disciplinary issue or you're shutting down the company, there's separation pay that you have to pay. Basically, a bonus you have to give them based on the amount of time they've been working with you. There's mandatory overtimes. There's 13th month bonus requirements. And essentially you have to give them a 1 month bonus at the end of every year. And the market has kind of dictated that that's sometimes not enough. You need to give them more of a bonus. There's bereavement leaves and maternity leaves and all this additional safety net. And plus, as I think, they've got like 25 holidays or something like that in the Philippines. So even though the labor costs are lower, there's a lot of social safety nets. And we actually try and go beyond that. So we have supplementary health insurance on top of that. We provide free lunches at times for the drafters. We're doing a lot of the Western culture stuff that has become popular here as far as promoting a good culture within the company and trying to create that camaraderie and teamwork and summer parties and winter parties and all that stuff. So we're doing all that stuff in addition to it. That's one thing I'm really proud about is the way our team is treated and how happy people are to be working with us and the culture of the company.